Hey everyone, Rossi here from Gear to Ride. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I've been getting on the internet trying to figure out how to fit one of these to a H2. Yep, that's exactly right. It's a blow-off valve. So we've got the Turbosmart blow-off valve, specifically designed for the H2 SX SE. And I'm going to give it a crack and see if I can do it. Now, as I said, I had a look at a couple of instructional videos online, a couple of Yanks doing it. They look like they've got it pretty much figured out, but they had a few extras here and there, which I don't have. I don't have a flash, I don't have intercooler, I don't have all of that kind of stuff. I'm just simply fitting a blow-off valve to standard SX SE. So I thought, for those of you who out there who just want to do a simple job without putting all these little bits and extras in, I'd do a bit of an instructional for you. And it's going to start from taking the tank off, because they didn't say how to do that either. And there was a couple of differing opinions between the two instructional videos. One never took the plenum off, another one didn't take the side off. So I thought I'd give it a crack and see what I can come up with. So bear with me, it's going to be a big job, but I'm going to see how we go. And if I screw it up, well, I'm just going to take it into Brisbane and get them to fix it. So let's see how we go. And remember, I'm not a mechanic's asshole, so this is my first crack. I mean, I've as you can see, I've got project bike up there, and I do like my bikes. So I do a little bit of work. Hiding away over there is my ZX. I do like to do a little bit of work, but this is a essentially a $35,000 supercharged 1000cc motorcycle. So I'm shitting myself, but let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm all ready to go. I've got my workshop pluggers on. We've got the blow-off valve. Righto, we've got the gasket, and we've got the return hose plug for the back of the intake, which I've got the picture here. So I've got to take the plenum off to put that little plug on there, because that's the return hose. So there's your supercharger, obviously there. So Extreme Creations have given me a little bit of an instructional on how to fit it, but there is a couple of other things you need to know, so I will be bumbling my way through there. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I've removed some of the fairings off. I'd like to thank Kawasaki for making each and every one of your fairing bolts exactly the same size, so I don't have to bag and catalogue every one like I did on the ZX14. So there they are there, look at that, beautiful. Alright, so now I've got the taken the seat off. Just undo these 4 bolts here. Alright, try and do it with one hand. Then you've got these bolts at the front. So I'll need... That was bound to happen. Alright, I'll get right back to you. Okay. So remove that. Got a bit of Loctite on there, that's why it was a bit difficult. Okay, so I got the top off, the tank off, sorry. So it was pretty simple, just your return hose there. There was also a breather hose, but that's slid off, and then you've got your fuel pump hose. Don't forget to disconnect these from your fuel pump as well. Taking that off was nice and easy. So I'll take this plate off just to get a little bit more access. So there's the original blow-off valve, right here. Okay, so here's the return hose. Goes all the way down there and then disappears inside there and pretty much goes to the back of the supercharger. So here's the supercharger here, alright, and right down in there is where the return hose has got to go. So I've got to try and access that by either taking the plenum off, or as I saw in the video, we can actually take this section off here and do it from behind. But we've got gaskets to deal with here, or we've got O-rings to deal with here. So I'm going to decide which way I'm going to go and which way is easiest. I'm just undoing the bolts here for the the original blow-off valve. Don't bother trying to use a spanner, just go straight for the socket, fits beautifully to get both of them off. Okay. Alright, so just grab that gasket before it falls down. Righto, so there's the original gasket there. So there's your blow-off valve. Alright, the original blow-off valve. So basically, I've just got to disconnect this vacuum signal hose, alright, and take that away and fit the new blow-off valve. Now, a little bit confused about this because looking at those other videos that the Yanks did, they were talking about taking things like the pollution box out, and having all these other different wires disconnected. But look, this is looking pretty straightforward to me. Admittingly, they had H2s, not H2 SX SEs. It's like, you know, H2 carbon or H2s. They had the big bangers. And they've probably had flashes done. They've got exhaust done. Well, I don't have any of that stuff. It looks really straightforward. I'm just going to start hooking it back up, but I'm going to try and figure out the easiest way to get rid of that and block it up. So let's see how we go. Alright, so here we have the two blow-off valves. We've got the Turbosmart blow-off valve here, and then we've got the original here. Now, one question that someone might ask is, why can't you just take the hose off that and see what sort of a noise it makes? Good question. Something to look into, but why not? I mean, it looks the same, pretty much the same on the inside there. It should work pretty much the same. You know, you could save yourself a few $100 and just take the return hose off this, and then you've got an atmospheric blow-off valve. But anyway, that's something for everyone to Google later. Well, there you go. It's in. I know, all done up nicely. You've got the gasket that was provided in there, no worries. All you have to do is pretty much hook up that hose. Looks like that's directional. I can tighten up that top there, no worries. But fair income, that's done. I don't know why they made it so bloody complicated about, you know, disconnecting this and bloody reconnecting that and doing a dump of this and a dump of that. Well, dude, take a dump yourself, because if you've just got a simple job, like you've just got a 2018 H2 SX SE that you just want to throw an atmospheric blow-off valve onto, freaking do it. It's easy as piss. I think the hardest part I'm going to find is just doing that return hose. But I was reading a forum and someone said, well, why can't you just plug up this end? Why can't you just put something in there and plug it up? And someone actually got on there and says, well, you probably could, but it's just not the right way of doing it. Why? I can't see why you can't. It's not. I don't think it's going to make too much difference with it. So what up? But in fairness, I have got the proper plug to do it. So I am going to have a crack at it and see how we go. But yeah, that job's pretty much done. Man, if you're SE and you want to put a blow-off valve, just fucking do it. It's easy. Okay, so I've decided to go in through the left after all. Same as when you're changing your air filter. You can pretty much just remove a bolt out of your fairing and move this back, and then that comes out. So I've opened this up to reveal some supercharger goodness right there. But behind here, if I can get my finger on that one, that is where the return hole is for the blow-off valve. So what I have to do is I have to remove this casing here by undoing these 3 bolts here, and that should bring that whole casing forward so that I can get to the back of it and remove that return hose. Now, one thing I do have to do is I have to watch here, because there's an O-ring behind here, so I have to watch and make sure that I don't nick that O-ring. So let's do it. Oh, I might have to take some more fairings off too. Alright, so I've managed to pull that out. Just remember you've got this little hose just at the side here. I think that's like a oil overflow. If you ever find oil inside your air cleaner box, that's pretty much the reason why. Yeah, so I've got this out. All I really need to do is undo that hose clamp, rip that hose out, and we're all good. Now there's that O-ring I was telling you about. Looks nice. I'm just putting it aside there. I'll clean that up in a moment, put it all back together. But man, we're looking pretty good. Well, let's just say that was piss easy. One of the videos I watched, he said he had a real problem with this end of the hose right here, because he said it kept catching in here somewhere. But you just needed to undo it here and simply pull it from the other end, and it would have come out nice and easy. But he ended up doing things like cutting all this stuff and what have you. No need for it. Oh, this is awesome. This is such an easy job. Okay, so I've got the plug. All right, that's simply going to go on the back there. I'm trying to do it with one hand just so that I can show you guys. Look at that. Slips on beautifully. All right. Got the clamp here. I whack the clamp on, put it all back together, and then we'll be sweet. Fuck's sake, permanent. There's something about a truck in a farmer's field. Yeah, can I get a Big Mac and large fries, thanks? Yep, on the card, thanks. Good, thanks. Okay, see ya. Okay, I've just put some fresh Loctite on that one, so let's throw it back in. Righto, so that's all back on. All the fairing bolts are all back in. We're all looking pretty. So now it's just a matter of putting the tank back on and starting her up, see if I get any codes. Righto, so I've put the tank back on. I've just finger banged the bolts just to so it's all in place. See if I get any bad things going on here. Let's see how we go when we start her up. Might get out of gear first. How's that sound? All right. No error codes. Looking good. Sweet. Yeah, okay, so I just got up to running temperature and had a little bit of a play, and I'll show you what we got. Now, just a little bit of a note says, please note, BOV only releases air when there is enough pressure in the plenum to warrant it. Free revving the engine to 5,000 or 6,000 RPM may not build enough pressure in the plenum. We recommend riding the bike to check the operation of the blow-off valve. Look, it worked alright with me, so I will take it for a spin and see how she sounds, but it's definitely working, so I'm really happy. I hope this video helped you out there. This is the only video out there for the H2 SX SE. I know they're very, very similar in bikes, but these are slightly different. Yeah, hope it helps all of you guys out there who just want to do a quick BOV job. What more can I say? I'm really happy, and I hope you guys are too, because these are brilliant bikes. Alright, well, I just got back from a ride and it's working perfectly. Everything is doing everything it should do. No error codes. It's running like a dream. It's going like a shower of shit. Blow valve's working the way it should be. So, happy days. So, as I say at the end of every video, stay shiny side up and ride your own ride. And this is Rossi from Geared to Ride. Take care. See you next time.